In breaking news about today's breaking news, former President Obama had a drop the mic moment today about Kamala Harris's pick of Tim Walz as her running mate. Will he express concerns about the Minnesota governor?
Loud, stupid, and overhyped.
Or sing his praises? So in love with you. I'll have the official Obama announcement for you in just a minute, but first let's look at the reel of reactions ranging from reporters to political royalty. First up, the reporters who are pacing in place waiting for the announcement.
We were told that when she went to bed last night, she still didn't know because she wanted to sleep on it. And Gail, when I look at all the facts about Walz, here's what stands out. He is a winner. He was elected 6 times to represent Minnesota in Congress. He is now in his second term as governor. He is very popular, and he has a voting record on the issues that really lines up with Harris.
I'm telling you, there seems to be there's something appealing about a guy for people who say it's comfortable talking in a T-shirt and a baseball cap as he is talking in a suit, as he is talking in a tuxedo.
I think it is 2 things. The one, that he's proven that he can win tough races. And secondly, he's got a deep compassion and conviction for the American people and the plight of the American people. And he's seen it on every end of the political, in every end of the political realm and field. So I think those were the things that probably took her over the edge.
But somebody who they can count on to be out there on TV, on the campaign trail, on the stump, going toe-to-toe with Republicans, with former President Donald Trump, and with Senator J.D. Vance, who is his counterpart as the Republican vice presidential nominee.
These are qualities you want in people making policy.
And now for the reactions from the Democratic political royalty, including Josh Shapiro, who was considered by many the front-runner for the role. And then I'll share the instant reaction from the most highly regarded of them all, Barack Obama.
Tim Walz is wonderful. And she had many good choices among the 6 and certainly among the 2. He has her confidence, obviously. That was the decision that the president, not our presidential nominee, soon to be president of the United States, has made. I respect the decision. He has a great vision for our country. It's about working class families, about rural America, about our veterans. He has won for governor 2 times.
Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Well, this is just fantastic for Minnesota, of course, but most importantly for the country. He has this sense of optimism that is just unending, getting our state through the pandemic in his red plaid shirt and bringing people together. I cannot tell you how promising this is going to be for our nation, how positive this is. What a fantastic choice.
Shapiro released a statement on X saying that over the next 92 days, I look forward to traveling all across the Commonwealth to unite Pennsylvanians behind my friends Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to defeat Donald Trump. See you tonight in Philly.
And now let's hear what former President Barack Obama said about the Tim Walz selection in today's press release. When a presidential candidate chooses a running mate, it says a lot about who they are and what kind of president they'll be. Do they pick someone inexperienced and polarizing who will deepen our divisions? Or do they pick someone with the judgment to make tough decisions and the character to believe that every voice counts and everyone deserves an equal chance? By selecting Tim Walz to be her vice president from a pool of outstanding Democrats, Kamala Harris has chosen an ideal partner and made it clear exactly what she stands for. Governor Walz doesn't just have the experience to be vice president, he has the values and integrity to make us proud. As governor, Tim helped families and businesses recover from the pandemic, established paid family leave, guaranteed the right to an abortion, and put common sense gun safety measures in place to keep communities safe. But Tim's signature is his ability to talk like a human being and treat everyone with decency and respect. Not all that surprising considering the fact that he served in the National Guard for 24 years and has worked as a high school social studies teacher and football coach before being elected to Congress. Like Vice President Harris, Governor Walz believes that government works to serve us, not just some of us, but all of us. That's what makes him an outstanding governor, and that's what will make him an even better vice president, ready on day one. Michelle and I couldn't be happier for Tim and Gwen, their family, and our country. Thank you, Mr. Former and non-disgraced President Obama. And now let's take a minute to contrast Harris' pick with Trump's train wreck of a pick that is J.D. Vance. We have to assume that Trump picked Vance to inject some much-needed youthfulness into the ticket, but he did not learn a valuable lesson from the George Bush pick of Dan Quayle or John McCain's pick of Sarah Palin. That is, if you pick someone from obscurity because of optics, they might pass the eye test but fail miserably at the podium and ultimately become a regrettable anchor that drags on the ticket. Vance has proven to be the latter, and it's scary to think that if Trump were elected, he's just a heartbeat away from the presidency. It remains to be seen if he will be cut loose in the weeks to come, but meanwhile, the VP spotlight is clearly on Tim Walz. So how do you think Walz does from behind the mic? Can he handle the media, and can you imagine him adjacent to the Oval Office? Here's a video from the Harris campaign that just dropped for social media, and it showcases his optics and communication skills. And while you're watching that, please comment below with how you feel about the Walz pick and Obama's endorsement of the ticket. I'm Dan, and I'll see you next time. And until then, let's continue to occupy democracy.
Sometimes life is as much about the lessons you learn as the lessons you teach. When I grew up, community was a way of life. My high school class was 24 people. I was related to half of them. I learned to be generous towards my neighbors, compromise without compromising my values, and work for the common good. My dad was in the Army, and with his encouragement, I joined the Army National Guard when I was 17. I served for 24 years. I used my GI benefits to go to college and become a public school teacher. I coached football and taught social studies for 20 years. And I tried to teach my students what small-town Nebraska taught me: respect, compromise, service to country. And so when I went into government, that's what I carried with me. I worked with Republicans to pass an infrastructure bill, cut taxes for working families, signed paid leave into law. I codified abortion rights after Roe got overturned. Because I go to work for the common good. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Because that's what this election is about. It's about your future. It's about your family. And Vice President Harris knows that. She too grew up in a middle-class family. She too goes to work every day, making sure families can not just get by, but get ahead. We believe in the promise of America, in those values I learned in Nebraska, and we're ready to fight for them. Because as Kamala Harris says, when we fight, we win.